So we'll check out the first example where there is an plane, I can say an XY plane, where I have defined a window here, which consists of points. I can tell there are 3 points here, or I can just tell there are 2 points, that is P9 as well as 10, which consists of region code 000 and 0100. What is the value for this region code? I can tell the value for this particular region code is 4 here. So this is a window I have defined here. Now I want to perform clipping. I'll start at point P10. That is nothing but this point P10. I will be knowing, right, which part. If I start defining the window, I'll be knowing which points will lie inside the window as well as which lies outside the window. So this part basically lies inside the window. I can call it as P9 as well as P10 dash. But I have another point here, which is P10. There are 2 points, P9 as well as P10. First, we'll check out with P10. That is, we'll start with P10 here, this point. Then, from the region codes of the two endpoints, we know the line does not cross the left or right boundary. What does this point tells you is, if I start with this particular point here, I'll be knowing which point is lying inside the window and which point is lying outside the window. So I'll be knowing, right? So this region code is applicable for this point, which is actually inside the window. I can tell that line cannot be clipped because it's already inside the window. But the part which is outside the boundary of this particular window should be clipped. Now I'll be knowing this point is not necessary. I should clip. It doesn't fall right side of that particular window or the left side of that particular window or the upper side. It is lying below the region, that is the boundary of that particular window. Now we'll calculate the intersection of the line as well as the window. That is nothing but the boundary of the window which you want to display. Now the intersection point is this. I will name it as P10 dash. That is nothing but the intersection point. This is the third point. Whatever I had told, that is intersection. Calculate the intersection of the line with the bottom boundary to generate point P10 dash. How how you got this point P10 dashes? You are just calculating the intersection. Once you got the points which are inside the window as well as outside the window, you should calculate the intersection point. How you did this? By seeing the line which is passing from the boundary as well as the point which is outside the boundary. Now I can tell the line which is being passing with respect to the window as well as the window. I got one intersection point which I named it as P10 dash. Once you got this P10 dash, which is an intersection point, the line P9 to P10 dash is completely inside the window, so it is retained. The rest of the line which is outside the window is actually eliminated, because what does this algorithm does? It basically eliminates the line which is not necessary. So this is how this is one of the example how coherence of the line clipping algorithm works. If the algorithm is asked for 8 to 10 marks, do remember at least one example is importantly necessary there. If you don't give a example there, 2 to 3 marks will not be given to you. If it is 8 mark question, only 6 marks will be allotted because you have written the algorithm, not the example. The evaluator in your final exam, he checks how much knowledge the student has shown in that particular algorithm. That is, if you give some example, this is a simple example, right? You are considering one window and you are checking which line is lying inside the window and which line is being eliminated. So you need to give such examples as well. So that you will get full marks, that is 8 on 8. So do remember. Hope this example is clear to all. The first example. Students, I'm asking you, hope the example is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Then we'll check out the example 2 here. So what happens in examples 2? Similarly, we have 2 points. You can actually guess which points will be inside the window, outside the window. Check out in this example, if we consider 2 points, and you'll check out the boundary line where the intersection is happening, you can tell this actually lies outside. The whole part lies outside the window. You don't have any line to be clipped there. Actually, inside the window you have no lines. You are not getting lines here. But what is the algorithm? You should clip the lines which are outside the window, right? So you'll check out here. These lines are being outside the window, so this part will be eliminated here. I'll check out the example. Start at P4. I'll start with this P4 point. From the region code of the two endpoints, we know the line crosses the left boundary. That is, it is coming towards the left of that particular window. We'll calculate again the intersection point. I will check out the intersection point. If the students do concentrate here, as the line is not passing the window, as I told in the first case, the line should be passing the window where you will take the intersection part, right? So here you are not getting some window there because the window is below here. The line is coming towards the left of that particular window. So you should actually take the boundary. I can tell this as a boundary of that particular window, right? So elaborate that particular boundary and then check out the intersection point for that. And then you can name that as some name, that is P4 dash. Then the line P3 to P4 dash is completely outside the window, so it is clipped. This whole line is actually clipped here. But in this example, I'm considering some part, right? Because I should get intersection. So once you get the intersection, this will be eliminated. Again, as the algorithm works on looping format, again, this will also be eliminated because it is not lying inside the window, because you want just the lines which are being inside the window, not the lines which are being displayed outside the window. The lines which are being displayed outside the window are actually clipped with respect to that particular display part. So this is the second example. Then check out the third example. In the examples which I am explaining here, all the conditions are met with respect to the trivial cases. Check out the example 3. Consider the points P7 to P8. P7 to P8. This is the line point. This is the line which is already inside the window. I'll start from point P7. Actually, you can start from any point where you are starting. It might be P1, P0, and so on. I am starting with respect to P7, which consists of this region code. From this two region codes of two endpoints, we know the line crosses the left boundary. So calculate the intersection point P7 naught. I will check out once the intersection is done. I calculated this actually lies inside the window, so this is not clipped. Only the lines which are outside the window are clipped. So these are some of the examples of Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm. Similarly, the similar example to previous, if I start from point P8 also, I will check out for P8 dash, but the intersection point is lying inside the boundary of the window. I am not clipping that particular line here. I am retaining it as it is, because the line, what are the points you have got, the combination of the points basically lies inside the window. So you are not clipping that particular line. You are just clipping the lines as well as points which are outside the window. So you need to remember this. So these are some of the examples. I have illustrated 4 different examples with respect to that particular algorithm. So do remember these examples, and then you can, any of the example is fine. You can give any of one example with respect to these 4 examples which you find it as easy. Actually, all the 4 examples are easier. You can give any one of the example here. So we'll move on to the next slide. There is one more algorithm which comes under Cohen-Sutherland line clipping, which I can tell it as midpoint subdivision method. This is also similar to that of line clipping algorithm. Just a second. Yeah, we'll check out what this algorithm does. It basically calculates the, I can say it will calculate the points as well as lines with respect to which the different line clipping can be performed. We'll check out how this algorithm works, what this algorithm states. This algorithms, please don't confuse yourselves with these algorithms. Do remember this. Before was Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm. The another similar algorithm is midpoint subdivision algorithm. This algorithm basically calculates the midpoints with respect to that particular line and then starts evaluating those lines. So how the algorithm flow works is, first it will initialize the list of lines to all lines. That is nothing but whatever the lines which are being connected to the window, it will list all the lines there. Then it will classify the lines with respect to phase 1. What happens in phase 1 is it will define the different 3 categories. We studied in the algorithm, right? Cohen-Sutherland algorithm. The same categories will be applicable here. One is visible line, the second is invisible line, and the third is what? What is the third category? Clipping, right? 3 categories will be there. One is visible lines, the second is invisible lines, and the third will be clipping. So basically these are the 3 categories which we'll be using, which are similar to the previous algorithm. If once it has listed all the lines, to classify these lines in the phase 1, it will start assigning some points to that particular end to that particular lines. That is, check out here, assign 4-point bit codes to both endpoints, so and so and so and so. That is nothing but it will check for all the category here after assignment of bit codes, that is region codes, to each and every points, that is endpoint. First, it will check the condition here. If these two, both the bit codes are equal to 0, it will come under category 1. If you are performing AND operations with respect to this, and you will check out if this is not equal to 0, the line will come under category 2. The third condition, if this particular endpoints bit codes, if you are performing AND operation to that, if it is equated to 0, it will come under category 3. So it will start for what happens in the second phase of the algorithm. It will check the categories under which this particular lines come under. After checking in which category the line lies, it will check out this next condition. It will display all the lines from the category 1, and then it will delete all lines from the list in category 2 which are actually invisible, then divide those lines for category 3. Once the category division is done, each and every lines are being separated there. After the category 3 lines are being displayed, it will actually divide it into 3 smaller segments with respect to some formula, which is xm, ym, where how to calculate xm and ym with respect to these formula you will be calculating. Once you will calculate all the smaller segments with respect to that lines, it will remove the original line from the list and then enter its 2 newly created lines there. Basically, it will be eliminating as well as creating new lines with respect to the original line. Once you have got this, it will basically delete the original line and retain the lines which it has been calculated after the calculation of xm, ym. Then the steps are being repeated from 2 to 5 in the loop. So this is the midpoint subdivision algorithm says. So we'll check out how. This is one of the example I have illustrated here. Check out. First, what does the algorithm says? It is an midpoint subdivision method. Check out here what's happening in the GIF here. First, it is dividing the line with respect to one midpoint. Then check out here. What is happening? It is just dividing the line. This is the original point line here. The first original line is being divided with 2 parts. And check out in the next step, the 2-parted line. It will take individual line as 1 part and divide it again. After that, it will check out. It will eliminate whatever the part is being present in the second part. And after that, once this part is done, it will retain all the. What is the next step? It basically eliminates the original line, this as an original line if I consider, and retains the part which you have got. That is nothing but 2 different parts. Once this is done, this part, it will consider this part because it is lying inside the window, and the part which is outside the window is actually being eliminated. This is actually another method for line clipping. So this is how midpoint line clipping algorithm works. Then check out here what are some of the advantages of midpoint subdivision method. In midpoint subdivision method, remember 2 points. it will first check out the original lines, then it will subdivide that line into two parts. Okay, it will calculate the midpoint of the line. Once it has been calculated the midpoint of the original line, it will calculate the midpoint of the two divided lines. Once it has been calculated the midpoint of the different lines, it will start clipping the region which is been lying outside that particular window. So check out here what is the version of this particular method. It is an integer version, works on integer categories or integer values. It can be considered as fast because it performs division by 2 and can be performed by simple shift right operation. Because division is done, this algorithm is actually simpler as well as fast efficient. Then for some dimensions with respect to n cross n of line of some subdivisions, it requires this formula, that is log to the base 2n. Thus, and 1024 cross 1024 raster display require just 10 subdivisions. These are just specifying what are the number of subdivisions required for that particular display with respect to some dimension. So these are some of the formalities as well as advantages you need to remember with respect to midpoint subdivision method. So what did we study in this from the starting of the class? We studied the examples of Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm, and we saw how midpoint subdivision algorithm, that is midpoint subdivision method, works. So after this, we'll check out the next levels of clipping, that is polygon clipping. So can someone tell by looking into the figure, what is polygon clipping? As we have studied point clipping as line clipping, can someone tell what is the definition of polygon clipping?
Only the polygon within the window is considered and everything else is clipped.
Yeah, good. It is simpler, like as I told the definition of point as well as line clipping. Similarly, it will clip a polygon which is lying outside the window. Check out here. I will consider this as one polygon, and this is the window I require. Check out what is the clipped here. What is clipped with respect to this particular window. So this is the clip part, that is the unwanted part which is being clipped here. If the polygon is inside the window, it is being retained, or else the part which is outside the window, it is removed so that it can perform it efficiently. So that is a simpler part of polygon clipping. What happens in polygon clipping is there are some difficulties with respect to polygon clipping. We'll check out what is those difficulties. Maintaining correct inside and outside. Because what does this first point tells is, because there is no particular dimensions. If you are giving line and point, you can say because it does not have some huge dimensions. But coming on to polygon, dimension, angle and all is very important with respect to polygon. The polygon might be in any dimension, in any format. So that is one of the disadvantage, maintaining correct inside and outside. That is, you will not get correct endpoints with respect to polygons here. Variable number of vertices, the vertices differently changes once you start clipping, and then handle screen corners correctly. So this is one of the most important what I can say difficulties in polygon clipping. Whatever the screen which you want to display as an output, the corners cannot be correctly fit with respect to that polygon. Check out here, there are different corners, right, with respect to polygons. I can define it easily, but once it is clipped, I cannot find the corners or edges of that polygon inside the window. So that is one of the disadvantages. I can call this as an disadvantage of polygon clipping. So this is also a 2-marker question. The previous year question papers consist of this question, explain the levels of clipping and do explain some of the disadvantages of polygon clipping. For 2 markers, you need to remember these 3 key points with respect to an example. Okay. Then there is something called as area clipping as well with respect to Sutherland-Hodgman method here. What are the levels we saw? I'll just display the levels here. Yeah, check out. The levels are point, line, polygon, area, text, and curve. We studied till polygon clipping. So coming on to area clipping, there is one more author, or I can say an scientist who defined area clipping. We'll study with respect to that scientist itself, what he has defined in area clipping. So, as the name suggests, what does I can polygon clipping as well as area clipping is almost similar. You can check out a particular area from the polygon is clipped, right, in polygon clipping. Similarly, in area clipping, a huge amount of specification or area is been deleted in the particular algorithm. So let's see what Sutherland-Hodgman defined. Sutherland turns up again, that is, he have defined the similar algorithm, that is nothing but area clipping algorithm. This time, with whom he worked at the first ever graphics company, Evans and Sutherland. He is one of the scientists who worked with the previous algorithm author. What is Cohen-Sutherland? He is Cohen-Sutherland. He is Sutherland-Hodgman. He worked with him so that he can get better results with respect to polygon clipping. He started with actually with polygon clipping, where he got an result with respect to area clipping. He started with his intention was to clip a polygon, but he got clipped with a particular area of that particular polygon. So let's see what is area clipping with respect to this man. In area clipping is a technique for clipping areas developed by Sutherland and Hodgman. That is a technique defined. Put simply, the polygon is clipped by comparing it against each boundary in the turn. Check out in the example. This is the original area of the object. Clip left. This is the left part, right part, top part, and bottom part. Clip left part of the polygon. This is the left part. This part is clipped here. Clip right part. This right part is clipped here. Clip top part. This top part is clipped. Bottom part. This bottom part is being clipped of that particular object. Now I have, what is the resultant? I have got the window which is clipped, the clear window which is clipped. You can see there is no different areas outside the boundary. I can tell this algorithm as efficient because it is checking all the 4 areas of that particular window, that is left, right, top, and bottom. Then what happens? That was a simple logic of this area clipping. Let's see what is the concept behind area clipping. Simply via separation, I can tell it is not performing the clipping all at once. It is separating each and every object and taking a single side of the object and then clipping. That is with respect to separation. Clip whole polygon against one edge. That is, if the polygon area is outside the window in the left part, it will take that part individually and then start clipping. Repeat with output for other 3 edges, similar for 3D. This is similarly, I can tell I'm clipping here for at least only one edge. I can tell here once the first edge is done, the second edge is defined here, that is the second edge is removed here. Similarly here the third edge, similarly the fourth edge. So similarly individually this algorithm performs individual classification and removal of the area. So this is similarly performed in 3-dimension as well. We can use area clipping in 3-dimensional object as well. You can create intermediate vertices that get thrown out. That is nothing but with respect to these vertices which is being defined, you can perform different angular, I can tell this as angular vertices with respect to which each and every object is being clipped with some dimension. So this is how the simple concept of area clipping works. Then these are some of the examples where this is the original object, this is the left part of the object which is clipped, right part, top part, bottom part, as well as top part. There is one note given here. Look into that note. Note that the point, one of the points added when clipping on the right gets removed when we clip with bottom. Check here. Whatever, if you want to perform, check out here. You are performing bottom part, which should be clipped here, right? In this part, while performing right operations, the part this angle, or I can say this object's dimension comes towards right as well, bottom as well. At that time, it will clip some part which is coming under bottom as well. So this is one of the advantage. If the extension of that particular object is outside the window and it lies on both the edges, that is right edge or bottom edge, if that particular area comes under right edge also, it start deleting that. So this is one of the advantage of this particular algorithm. So this is I can say you should mention this note in your answers as well. That is, if the point comes under both the edges, the algorithm is so efficient that it will start eliminating that particular edge with respect to different edges as well. So this is an example of Sutherland-Hodgman polygon clipping or area clipping. So we'll check out how the algorithm works. I have actually included a flowchart as well with respect to that particular algorithm. And I will just give a brief note on this algorithm, and then we'll study in detail tomorrow about the algorithm. How does this algorithm works is, first, it will consider some points with respect to that particular object. Once the points are being fixed, it will check out some edges, if it is positive or some, or it depends on some other clipping window as well. Once once it starts with defining the vertices, if it is positively oriented or not, then it starts clipping. It starts clipping with respect to some point as well as edge. Once the edge is found outside the window, it starts clipping, or else it starts retaining that particular edge so that you can perform clipping on that edge also. As I told, the advantage of this particular algorithm is it is very efficient to delete the area which comes under both the edges, if it is on right also, left also, bottom or top. So this is the basic working of this algorithm. It is just removing the areas wherever it is necessary. So we'll check out. It consists of some 4 cases also. Sutherland-Hodgman polygon algorithm. We'll check out how each and every case works, and then with respect to some examples, I'll be defining the flow chart here. Hodgman method, how area clipping is done, in which students to note to actually highlight here. This is actually an important question. Polygon as well as area clipping, where the particular polygon is being clipped with respect to each area with different areas. As if I consider this particular polygon, there are different, I can tell 4 areas right here, left, right, top and bottom. I can call it as 4 edges. With respect to each edge, the clipping is done. So this is one of the important question I can say for your internals as well as externals, which can be asked for 5 marks. So we saw how this area clipping is done. Then we saw the basic concept, how it is done. It basically use divide and rule method. That is, it will just simply separate the polygon with respect to edges, and then it will clip the particular area of each edge. After that, I just took an example to show you how the clipping works, that is area clipping. Then we saw how to, I just briefed out how the algorithm works. So we'll start up with the algorithm today, that is polygon clipping with respect to Sutherland-Hodgman method. Then let's see what is an algorithm. So look at the points of the algorithm. Let P1, P2, so on Pn be the vertex list of the polygon to be clipped, and E be the edge of positively oriented convex clipping window. Suppose I tell this is a window where the displaying of the lines can be done, where it is already clipped here. So how the algorithm works is, first it will represent the points with respect to n, which can be represented in the form of vertex list. Vertex list is nothing but the number of vertices which has been represented in that particular polygon. Then if you are representing these points, we'll assume that those are the vertices list which must be clipped, and we'll consider one point called E with respect to edge, where all the clipping window which is being considered there as convex clipping window. That is nothing but, what is the condition for convex? We studied in module 2. When can I tell a particular polygon is concave or convex? What is the condition? Someone from the class? What is the condition for convex polygon?
If the internal angle is less than 180 degrees.
Yeah, if the internal angle is less than 180 degree. If that is not the case, that particular polygon can be called as concave polygon. That is, if the internal angle is greater than or equal to 180 degree, I can call it as an concave polygon. If it is lesser than 180 degree, I can call it as convex polygon. So similarly, we'll be using convex clipping window. That is nothing but the window which will be displaying onto the screen will meet the condition of a convex polygon here in this algorithm. Once the assumption of points is done, which should be clipped here, we'll clip each edge of the polygon in turn against each window. That is, as I told, the area clipping is done based on some conditions, right? Based on some edges. If the polygon consists of n number of edges, we'll be defining the window which should be displayed onto the output screen. The window might be of any edges, right? I can display a window in the form of triangle as well. If I want to display a window in the form of square or rectangle, we'll be having 4 number of edges there. So with respect to those edges, we'll start clipping each edge. So these 2 steps. The initial step you need to remember. First, assumption of points with respect to which you will be clipping that window with the help of edges. Once you have the points with respect to edges, we'll start clipping that particular edges by individually with respect to that particular window. Then after this, you need to remember 4 different cases in Sutherland-Hodgman polygon clipping. So what are these 4 cases? The first case is the inside part of that particular polygon where the window is being displayed, then entering, leaving, and outside. This basically tells the number of clipping lines. The clipping lines coming inside the window or entering the window. These 2 are actually similar. Leaving and outside is also almost similar, because whatever the line which is being entering inside the window is already considered as it is inside the window, or whatever the lines which are leaving the window are actually considered as the lines which are leaving the window, right? Which are actually outside the window. So you need to remember these 4 cases. We'll check out what each case does. In the first case, in the inside case, that is nothing but the lines which are entering inside the window. What happens there is, if both points, that is pi minus 1 and pi is nothing but the initial point and the previous point. Do remember, it is not the next point in this particular algorithm, it is previous point, are to be left of the window edge vertex, then pi is placed on the output vertex list. That is nothing but, these cases basically depends on the edge area. Suppose if the line is in the left part of this particular window, this case comes into consideration. If the entering line, that is nothing but whatever the line is almost inside the window, if it is in the intersection part, that is nothing but the window intersection as well as the line intersection part, then it will be considered as the line which should be clipped, or I can say which should be considered. Similarly for leaving as well as the line which is outside that particular window. You need to just remember where the lines are being falling. In the inside the line which is coming inside the window, if that particular points are to the left of the window edge, then it is being included in the output vertices. In entering, if this point is right of the window edge and pi is to left of the window edge, the intersection I of both the points are placed on the output vertex list. That is, in the inside part, it should be in the left side. In the entering part, it should be towards your left as well as right. In the leaving part, if the window is towards your left and the other is towards your right part, with respect to these points, we will consider those points to be displayed onto the output vertices list. Then in the final case, if both the points are towards the right of the window edge, then it will be placed into the output vertex list. In these cases, 4 different cases, you have to remember the edge area, if it is in the left part, right part, top part, or bottom part. Top and bottom is not included in these 4 cases. Just right as well as left part should be included. That is, in the first case, you will be using only left part. In the entering phase, it will be using both right as well as left. In the leaving phase, only left is being used with respect to 2 points. Then additionally, we are using right of the window edge. In the outside part, it should be only in the right phase. So these are some of the 4 cases with respect to this algorithm. So you need to remember these points. Do remember, here we are not using the point which is newly calculated. We'll be using the initial point as well as the point which is being used previously, that is Pi minus 1. So these are the 2 points you need to consider with respect to all 4 cases. Then once you have calculated the 4 cases, you know where each and every point lies. You should check and create a new vertex list with respect to that particular object. Check out the first case. Whatever the case you have studied, it is just representing this particular case here. That Pi minus 1 is at the ending vertices. So I can tell the first inside output as Pi minus 1 as well as I, where the point is being displayed towards the left here. Check out in the second part, the line is entering into the window. This line is entering into the window. And the third part, it is leaving the window. And the fourth part, the line is already outside the window. So this is how you represent that particular clipping part with respect to each and every example of the 4 cases. So once this particular creation is done of how a particular vertex is being displayed with respect to each polygon, then we'll check some of the points which needs to be saved with respect to each clipping. Then I can tell these are just this algorithm is, you need to just remember 2 points that are nothing but the you are assuming some points with respect to some edge, then you'll start clipping those points with respect to each edge. After that, you need to remember the 4 cases. Once you have drawn, once you have theoretically written the 4 cases, you should represent it diagrammatically. So if the example is asked for Sutherland-Hodgman polygon clipping, so these are some of the examples here where the points are towards right, left, and all. So check out the examples. Each example shows the point being processed and the previous point. So in this case, this is the point where excuse me, students. So in the first example, this is the point here. This is, I can represent it as P, and you can check out the previous point. This is the S, where the point is being displayed with respect to the point which is being processed. This is towards the right part. I can tell this lies under the first phase. Check out in the second case, this is the point and this is the previous point which is being processed, which lies outside the particular window. So similarly, all 4 points are being displayed and explained with respect to each polygon, where the saved points with respect to the original point, it actually defines the area with the help of which you need to perform clipping with respect to some boundaries. So this is one of the example of Sutherland-Hodgman polygon clipping. So once you perform all the clipping, so check out here. Here all the clipping performance is done. Once the clipping is done, you'll get the clipped object in this format. That is, you are removing you have removed all the areas, right, which lies outside the window. You'll keep only the window which is lying, only the area which is lying inside the window. So this is the area which you got, where it consists of 2 intersection points with respect to window. I can call these as 2 intersection points, right, with respect to window as well as object, and 2 points with respect to which the object is drawn. So the flow chart with respect to that particular algorithm, that is Sutherland-Hodgman algorithm. So this is just for your reference. First, as all the algorithm startups with a start format, we have you start here. Then what is the input for a particular algorithm? As I told, you need to assume some points with respect to which you will be clipping the line side. So these are some of the points, P1, P2, so on, Pn. We'll be using a for loop from I is equals to 1 to n minus 1. That is, P is equals to I minus 1, right, with respect to that particular line clipping algorithm. Similarly, we'll be using the ith value there with respect to, I'm giving the I value from 1 to n minus 1 there. If once we have used the for loop, we'll be using if pip I plus 1, that is nothing but that particular point as well as the window is been intersecting with respect to some edge. You should compute I, that is nothing but the intersection point where the output will be in the vertex list. If this condition is not satisfied, then this comes to the loop for this particular computation. Once the loop is done, it will check for the next case where the point 1, that is Pi, is towards your left of that particular edge. If such the case, if it is true, it will also include the Pi to vertex list, or it will keep on incrementing that I to I plus 1. So this keeps on repeating. If this is not the case, it will check again with respect to the another point if it is intersecting, or else it will check if the particular point is towards the left or right. So this is just the flow of the algorithm. This is just for your reference. So they have defined some of the special cases with respect to the vertices so that the particular algorithm doesn't get complicated. Then, so we'll check out what is the special case for that particular vertex. If P and P of 0 intersect E, that is nothing but the initial point of that particular line. If it is intersecting with respect to the point E, that is nothing but edge, what happens? It will include that particular output to the vertex list, or it will end that particular intersection of the line. So this is one of the special case with respect to the algorithm. So that was actually about the Sutherland-Hodgman algorithm, line clipping algorithm. Do you people have any doubts regarding the algorithm? Any doubts, students, still there? I will just show you the slides. Check out if you have any doubts from here, from the algorithm part. These 4 cases, and then how the creation of each case is done, and these are the examples. Do you have any doubts still here?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we'll check out. There are some tests with respect to Sutherland-Hodgman area algorithm so that the clipping is done here. So we'll check out what is the test there. So similarly, to find out the interior as well as exterior part of an polygon, what we had some tests, right, inside as well as outside test in the module 2. Similarly, in the Sutherland-Hodgman polygon clipping, we have a test called as inside-outside test. So what happens in this particular test is, we'll assume some point here initially, that is P of xy with respect to xy coordinate to be the polygon vertex, which is to be tested against edge A. That is nothing but with respect to this edge E, we'll be defining one point with respect to coordinates x and y. So I can define this particular edge as in the form of A of x1 comma y1. That is nothing but the A coordinates with respect to xy will be x1 comma y1, and the B coordinates with respect to xy, the second coordinates, the second point will be x2 comma y2. Now the point P is to be set towards the left side. That is nothing but inside the window of E or AB. That is nothing but, if you want to tell a point is inside the window with respect to some coordinates, so you should meet this condition. That is nothing but y minus y1 divided by y2 minus y1 minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1, which should be greater than 0. That is, I should tell the differentiation with respect to the y coordinates as well as the differentiation with respect to x coordinates point should be greater than 0. If this not the case, it should meet this particular condition where I will assume this particular equation should be equated to one constant called c, where this should also be greater than 0, where you are just taking the differentiation between the all the coordinates with respect to x and y axis. So if this meets this and this, then I will call that particular line or the point is inside the particular window, or else it is said it will be right or outside the edge. That is nothing but that polygon is being represented outside the edge. That is nothing but outside the window. So this is one of the case I can tell. This is one of the case as well as test with respect to polygon clipping. Check out here. So this is the condition representation with respect to objects. Clipping concave areas can be a little more tricky, as often superfluous lines must be removed. That is nothing but concave areas of that particular lines which meet some conditions. So it is very difficult in this clipping constants, that is area clipping. Clipping curves requires more work. Suppose, check out here, as I told, the polygon. If the polygon is of the form circle which needs to be clipped, this needs a huge amount of calculations because it consists of radius part, right? If I am representing circle which should be clipped, so this area should be clipped, you need to perform some calculations with respect to clipping of that particular area. Check out here, for circles we must find the two intersection points on the window boundary. Check out, as you can see here, there are two intersection points, right, with respect to the circle. This is the one intersection point, this is the another intersection point. If there are two different intersection points with respect to similar object, you need to perform huge number of calculations, which is actually very a difficult task to perform. So these are some of the concepts you need to remember with respect to clipping. This might be asked for 2 to 4 marker question. That is, the question might be included in the sub question to explain the inside as well as outside test condition with respect to Sutherland Hodgman polygon clipping. So this you people can write down this question as well. Then we'll check out the next level of clipping, that is nothing but text clipping. What is text clipping? As you have studied the number of levels of clipping, similar to that, excuse me students, similar to that we have something called as text clipping. What is text clipping? I can tell text clipping as the removal of text which is outside the boundary. To be simpler, that is nothing but text clipping. How? Where does this text clipping actually relies? What I can say, on which it will depend. Text clipping relies on the concept of bounding rectangle. That is nothing but with some boundary of the clipping area. So with respect to some boundary, if you are defining the boundary in the form of rectangle, it will depend on the boundary. Till what boundary you have extended that particular text. If the boundary is towards a certain extent, that clipping can be done. If the particular boundary, wherever the text is being displayed, it is in some particular area, it is very difficult to extract such kind of text which is not related to that particular boundary. In text clipping, there are some of the types. What are those types? All or non-string clipping, all or non-character clipping, component character clipping. That is nothing but in all or non-string clipping, all the string is being clipped outside the window or no string is clipped. Similarly, with respect to character, it will consider each character and then start clipping. Similarly, with respect to component character, where all the character with respect to which it is being displayed outside the window, the clipping is done. So these are the three types of clipping here. We'll check out how each and every clipping is done. All or non-string clipping. First, check out the representation here. In the first example, this is the input you are passing to that particular clipping. What happens in text clipping is, if the character, a single string of that particular word is out of the boundary, it will clip the whole character, that is but whole word. Check out here also similar, right? Here also similar. So only the string which is totally inside the particular window is retained as the clipped area. This whole I can say this as non-clipped area because it is all inside the window. In this you can check out the area which is being clipped is almost inside, partially inside, almost I can say this is almost inside, right? This two are partially inside. So such kind of strings is also clipped with respect to text clipping. So this is actually efficient because huge number of strings will be eliminated there. You will get some sort of string which should be clipped here. Check out the points. In this scheme, if all of the string is inside the window, we clip it. Otherwise, the string is discarded. This is actually the fastest method. As I told, the procedure is implemented by considering a bounding rectangle. I can call this as a bounding rectangle around the text pattern. The boundary positions are compared to the window boundaries. In case of overlapping, the string is rejected. That is nothing but if there is overlapping in the strings with respect to two strings, that kind of case is been rejected with respect to this particular clipping. So that is about all or none string clipping. Similarly, we have all or none character clipping where the representation will be clear. Like check out if the some strings which are inside the window, only the strings which are outside the window will be clipped in this form. In this scheme, we discard only those characters that are not completely inside the window. Check out the string. This is not completely inside the window. So only the part which is outside the window is being clipped in this clipping. Boundary limits of individual characters are compared against window. In case of overlapping, the character is rejected. You need to remember what is the boundary, window boundary of that particular clipping area. So this is about all or none character clipping. Similarly, component character clipping. You should check what is component character clipping. Characters are treated like graphic objects. So this is one of the interesting topic in the clipping part, that is component charactering, where each and every component of that particular string is treated as graphic object. It consists of some fonts as well as here bitmap fonts where point clipping can be performed, outline fonts where line as well as curve clipping is done. In this case, overlapping the part of character inside is displayed and the outside portion of the character is rejected. Which type of clipping is similar to this? I can tell the previous one, where the part which is outside the window is actually clipped. It retains only the part which is inside the window, which is similar to that of all or none character clipping. The one difference here is it basically considers all the characters as graphic object. It considers this TRING3 as a graphic which should be displayed inside the window. So this is one of the advantage of this particular text clipping, that is component character clipping. So these are the types of text clipping. With respect to your syllabus, you need to remember if this question is asked, what is text clipping and what are the types of text clipping? Those are three types you need to remember and write down the answer for it. So similarly, we have curve clipping. What is curve clipping? Whatever I told you in one of the examples in previous clipping, that is circle. Such kind of curves can be eliminated, which is unwanted. So that is nothing but curve clipping. Areas with curved boundaries can be clipped with methods similar to line and polygon clipping. Curve clipping requires more processing as it is involve nonlinear equations. For line as well as point equations, for line equations you had simpler equations and you could perform that operation very easily. But if you are coming for curve clipping, the equations are very complicated because it is a non-linear. So the curve clipping is bit complicated if comes into consideration. It consists of bounding rectangles which are used to test the overlapping of that particular rectangle with respect to clipping window. So curve clipping needs more processing. Check out here for an example. If Check out the second example. This is the window, but whatever the curve which is being displayed is totally outside the particular boundary. The empty boundary is only displayed with respect to that particular object. So this is one of the disadvantage. In the first case, if bounding rectangle is completely inside the object or curve, it is saved. So this is one of the advantage as well as disadvantage. This, see, check out the bounding rectangle. I can call this as a bounding rectangle, which is actually inside this particular window, right? Window. So this particular object is considered. If the bounding rectangle is totally outside the object, so this kind of examples or this kind of curves are totally discarded. So this is, I can say this has an advantage as well as disadvantage of curve clipping. Check out. This is one more example. As you all know, the part which is outside the window is being clipped, and the part which is inside the window is retained as it is. So similarly, this is the case. If both the above test fails, we use other computation saving approaches depending upon type of the object. That is, if this previous two cases fails, we'll be using this case. That is, you'll keep the part which is actually outside the window and retain the part which is inside the window. In this, we'll be using some, what I can say, terminologies. If the particular curve is a circle, we'll be using coordinates which is of individual quadrant, then octant is if required. Check out, as I told, huge number of computation is required. First, you need to calculate what are the coordinates of that particular quadrant, and you'll check if that particular coordinates result give the result as an octant or not. Similarly, you'll check out if that particular curve is an ellipse. If that coordinate is of single quadrant, then you'll clip that particular area. Similarly, if it is a point, we'll be using point clipping with respect to curve clipping. So these are some of the difficulties as well as terminologies with respect to curve clipping.